Should we go for it then?
Yeah, no time like the present. Conflicting controls.
Hey Wayne, how's your car?
I heard my car is broken.
Is it as broken as the screen being pixelated like an N95?
Maybe that's what it is. What a great phone, by the way. N95. Loved my Nokia
N95. It's just one of the greatest. It really was.
Still got mine upstairs, I think,
Have it? Oh, do you know, I found mine about, I don't know, it was just before COVID or during COVID. I had a clean out and found that, along with, I think I found about 7 phones, all dating back.
Yeah, I've had my when the phones break, which they do sometimes, especially when you don't get rid of your old faithful Huawei for 75 years. I break out the Nokia and all the other types of phones, and they still work. They still work. I've got an original Razr with the Kevlar back. That's one of my devices that I roll out if the world breaks.
Yeah.
And the good old Nokia N95 and the brick. Do you know the Binatone brick?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly the one. I had a BT Cellnet. I had a BT Cellnet brick, and that was just incredible, that thing. It would take any abuse, anything, And what makes me laugh is when people moan about nowadays batteries not lasting and all this. It's like, yeah, but compare the tech that's packed into it. Back then, it was a phone. Yeah. Literally, it didn't even have text messaging. It was a phone.
No.
You turn your iPhone or whatever, your Samsung S25 or whatever else down to just a phone and turn everything else off and see how long that battery. I bet it would last a year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Speaking of SMS, my first phone actually had SMS on it as an option before SMS was a thing. Wow. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I was at school and didn't have an idea of what it actually was, but it was there, and you could send messages. It just didn't do anything when it went.
Yeah, amazing. No, it's gone. SMS, Bluetooth. That was it. I remember when my mate said to me once, he said, "There's this incredible thing coming out. It's called Bluetooth, and you don't have to have a wire." I was like, "Well, how does it? Like, yeah, it blew my mind that as well.
Yeah,
big headsets with the blue flashing light on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a TomTom with Bluetooth connectivity. In fact, that might have even been to my N95. Feels like it was around about the same time. TomTom with a little GPS unit separate.
Yeah.
And you could have TomTom on your phone, and it was amazing.
Wait, on your phone? Wow.
On my phone, on the N95. I'm sure it was the N95. There was another one a bit like it. I can't remember which one it was, because it was the N72, was there? And then the N95. They were the two.
N95.
I just realised what we're doing, and I think you're segueing into what we're going to talk about tonight, aren't you?
I'm actually not. Chatter. No, I'm actually not because there's something I want to get out of the way first. But just to wrap that up, my N95 and something about the N95. It was the first. Maybe correct me. It was one of the very first phones where the audio jack would also do a video output, so you could plug it into your TV or whatever else. And I used to plug it into my car and in my LCD screens in the sun visors, which, hey, Max Power Live 2003 top 100, don't forget it.
Representing.
Yeah, with my PlayStation 2 in there as well. Get in.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. I could connect my phone and have whatever was on the phone on the screens in the thing.
Yeah.
So
it was a great time.
Great
time for technology.
It was a simple time.
Yes, it was. I remember going to the Nürburgring for a stag. No, all right. Well, it just seemed to feel that way a little bit, but that's all right.
We'll go into that in a minute because obviously, right. I am going to start, and it's a slightly downer one, right? But I just want to say this because, and it's the reason for my background and everything else. The whole point of this.
1 second. Just let me put my car into neutral. Right. Yeah. Carry on.
Excellent. The whole point of this sort of little podcasty thing chat is to sort of discuss the upcoming iRacing online gaming.
Yes.
So world of online gaming, and actually we can segue from mobile phones to the fact that there were like online gaming was very different then as well to what it is now, and I think last time we discussed online gaming a bit as well in the past and everything, and it's a very, very bizarre world, the world of online gaming, because you can meet people online, you can chat to them for ages and never meet them at all. Now, me and a friend of mine, we've been playing Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, as behind me, since it came out in Christmas 2015, a long time. And since probably 2016, we've been joining up with, chatting and having a laugh with a kind of a core group, of a few people. So that's what we're in now, 2025. That's the best part of 9 years. We've been chatting to these people, laughing with them, and yet we've never met them. We've never seen them, none of that. This week, we had a message through, and it was quite sad that a couple of people we play with is his dad plays and his son plays as well. I'm pretty sure, again, online gaming, you never know, but I'm pretty sure his son's somewhere around our age, thereabouts.
Okay.
And we got the very, very sad news that his dad passed away early this week. Now, he was always like such a fun guy when he was on, we were always cracking up, he was always laughing. And I just wanted to take a moment to sort of say, it's the bizarre thing that even though we've never met him, don't even know what he looks like, we've known these people for 9 years. And it's just a bizarre new world we live in, with something like that, where you can be affected and feel sad and, for someone you've never even met. So I am going to link this episode to his lad, my mate, Bomb, which is the funny thing as well, is online gaming names, isn't it? Because I always say online gaming names are just proof of the reason why we should not be allowed to name ourselves. I'm not even going to start going into some of the ones I've come across before.
I think you should at least give your own up, since you've said
give my own
else's.
up. Okay, I am Captain Mingo.
You were able, Captain Mingo. That's all I've got for you on that one.
And hopefully, I just as I say, I'm going to send this as a message, and hopefully he sees it. And hi, mate, this is what I look like. Is it what you expect?
The blurry edges and funny shaped head and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
AT Walker in your head.
So 9 years of hearing someone, you build a picture, don't you, of what they look like, in your head, very much like we do with students. And it's a similar thing. And this is where I was also going to nicely segue to what we do, because we kind of chat to people all the time. We're messaging them. And how many times have you been, when we've gone racing, and the students come along with us, and they'll come up to you and be like, "Oh, hi Wayne," and you're like, "Hi, I don't want to be rude. What's your name?" Because they see us all the time on the videos, and we never see them, unless they've uploaded a picture, which a lot of people don't. But it's nice when you get to meet those people. And yeah, you never know. One day I might sit and meet, the online community as well. But so yeah, I hope he's staying strong and everything's all right. And sad note, but yeah, sort of
Worth
on the
mentioning.
nicer side of it. On the nicer side of it, be grateful of all your friends wherever they are, whether they're beside you, a few 100 miles away like you are now, or you've never met them and don't even know where they are in the country. So
very much so.
That's it. So there we go. Hence the wallpaper. So yeah, moving on then. Let's go through quickly. We had some good responses to the options.
We did. Yeah, it's been positive. Yeah, which I'm happy about because obviously we took a little bit of a out on a limb, making some of the governing decisions,
executive decisions
for the series. Yes, and I think we've done all right. So far so good in terms of feedback, which is positive. Hopefully that leads to lots of cars on track and a lot of activity going on ahead of me for me to try and keep up with. But yeah, we shall see. I haven't been on to practice since the last time we met. Excellent. I think it's only fair that way, really.
Yeah.
Don't want to all of a sudden just be amazing, do I? That wouldn't be realistic.
No.
So.
No. And with that in mind, we did have a couple of questions about people Daytona Rallycross, which don't go together. So I feel at some point we'll take 10 minutes for you to give a demo of that track and why
how
we
good
chose
I am
it.
on it. Yeah,
how
definitely.
ace you are. Yeah.
How amazing I am at this particular track. I still can't hear the word Daytona without thinking about the Sega game Daytona.
Yeah. Can you remember
Arcade
the slogan
version.
at the end? Can you remember the slogan at the end of the advert?
No, I can't. I can't even confidently sing the songs of the Daytona theme tune to the computer because I don't think I ever learned what they were.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It was the ad at the end of the sort of 80s, late 80s ad, early 90s, probably still late 80s. Do me a favor, plug me into a Sega. Do you not remember that?
No. I am considerably younger than you, Ed. At least 3 years.
I'm sure that made all the difference.
Clearly.
So yeah. So it's wow. It's been a busy old week. There's been a lot going on.
Yes.
But you specifically are now coming back round to mobile phones, technology, and TIE fighters. You wanted to. You've vanished. Oh my God, you've fallen out of your car. Where have you gone, Wayne? Come back. Oh my God.
I dropped my keys.
You had your face on the curb then.
Yeah.
That was insane.
It's all right. I'm back in the car.
You're back.
Comfy seats.
Back in the car.
Yeah, there you
go. Right. So you wanted to talk about a Ford. Get worried about you.
I didn't want to talk about. We decided we would broach this subject because, and that's all. Because I have to say, you can be worried about me if you like, but I wouldn't say I'm a convert because I still think it's horses for courses, and I still don't think for me they would do the job. However, I can see the merit of them if you can turn off the fact that there's no noise, except for there is in some. But I think they went wrong with the fact that they didn't put actual Tron sounds in electric cars. That's a massive oversight. But maybe that's just a generational thing, of course. Maybe it's just us that would want that, and maybe people want no noise and cars that drive themselves. That bit I still wouldn't be getting involved in at all whatsoever. But yes, the reason it's relevant is because I went to drive some.
Apart from racing.
Not self-driving cars.
Not self-driving, but remote controlled. I want to see full-size remote controlled
Full-size RC.
Because
yes.
what drives all rules and all restrictions in racing? Safety, right? Safety of the driver. Got to look after the driver. Yeah, they're expendable, but not everyone sees it that way. So, if you take the driver out, and
all the drivers have unsubscribed.
Yeah. Picture this, right? A big circle, right, with all the drivers sat in their chairs, right, the screens and all that, linked to the cars. The cars on track, like that. The cars on track, right? You hear them like in Formula 1 when they bash and they come over the radio, oh, blah, 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 shout at someone. Imagine if they could literally yell across the room. Come on, how good would that be?
Or more.
If they just lifted above the screen and went for it at them, or just jumped out and ran around. I mean, F1 Royal Rumble, it would be epic. It would make it interesting for a change.
That'd be pay-per-view, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And not only that, what else can you throw in there? Jumps, you can throw loops in there, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, remote racing is like it's going to be it. And basically, at that point, you get very close to Wipeout 2097. Back to gaming, full circle. You're welcome.
Yes, like it.
How good was that game?
Yeah. That is a good one. Yeah. Although, Wipeout, that was the floaty, that was like the spaceship flight racing game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't F-Zero, was it?
No, it wasn't F-Zero. But one of the ships was called Pfizer. So every time when it was COVID, someone mentioned Pfizer. In my head, all I heard was the voice when you selected that ship from Wipeout, and it went, Pfizer. And that was all I heard. Excellent. We digressed again. Sorry. Right, go on.
We did.
Let's talk your test drive.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason I went is because obviously I've got the Mustang, a combustion engine conventional Mustang.
Brag, yeah. Is it the 2-litre EcoBoost?
The what?
We've already had this discussion. If you've gone to test drive an electric vehicle, you can no longer deny the EcoBoost.
All right, fine. Get the engine size right at least then.
So in your
you mean the 2.3 litre turbo 4-cylinder Mustang combustion engine? And no, I do not have one of those. I have the one that sounds good sat still. Sorry to say. But
yes.
That leads us into Ford obviously having me on their mailing list. And Ford sending me an email saying, how would you like to win a Ford Explorer?
Okay.
Everybody likes things for free, me included especially. And all you have to do is test drive it.
I would take an electric car for free.
You wouldn't?
No, I would. I'm not stupid.
But you would.
Right, I'm not an idiot. I don't like them, but I'm not
I thought you'd fallen off the sensible train there then. Yeah, so come down, have a drive in it, and maybe you'll win it. Maybe, definitely, hopefully win it. So I did, and actually, we turned it into a bit of a day out, actually. So me and Anna went, and the kids, and properly test drove a Ford Explorer as a family. Took it out and went for a good old jolly into the countryside, see what they were like. And I have to say, actually, it wasn't a bad car at all, right? And performance-wise, I would liken it. Spoiler alert: I drove two. I would liken them both to around about the Volvo in terms of performance, as just a general feel, minus the gears, of course. So initial jump, if you're in the right moment, that initial torque feels a little bit like turbo boost, conventional, but just doesn't. And then it kind of feels a bit like a DSG system where there's no gear change, so just linear, which is it was all right. But on the motorway and things like that, picked up nice. You could accelerate from 60 to 70 at a good pace. Too much tech, in my opinion. Too much tech. It's all on one big screen in the centre, which is all right if you were allowed to look away from the road.
Screens in
Not
cars.
Only. Yeah.
Can I go off on a rant now, or do you want me to wait?
Well, if you don't, I will. So go for it.
Screens in cars are the most ridiculous idea ever. They're stupid because big buttons, 80s style buttons, right? Oh, I want to turn the heating up. Where's my button? There it is. I don't even have to look because I know what it feels like, right? Even in my truck, big button up, button down, hot, cold, done, right? These things, you look at them, you go over a pothole, and whoop, and you push something else, and you got to look at the screen. No, I'm not in the right page on the screen. I've got to find something. I'm in maps. I need to go into heating controls. Where's that? Into settings, into menu. Oh no, I've crashed. It's no wonder all these modern cars need these, crash sensors and everything, because everyone's too busy looking at the screens or, changing it from something. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get how years ago they were like, no, don't look at screens, it's dangerous. And now they stick something bigger than an A3 sheet of paper, widescreen 42-inch IMAX in there and expect you not to be distracted. I don't understand.
But you can't get in trouble for that because it's not in your hand.
Yeah,
you'll get a fine if you're on your phone. But if you
phone,
use the device that's 8 times the size of your phone that's attached to the car, you're all right there. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Madness.
But
it's
you're right.
Just ridiculous.
So,
sorry.
But they're all going that way. They're all going that way. We went and had a look at a Macan. Wishful thinking as a family car. And there was an older one and there was a newer one. And the difference in the interior is essentially that they've gone to those haptic panels now, where everything, all the settings, are just on a black piano, black glass screen. And you can't, you don't, in your head, you don't go, it's the fourth one along, do you? You can't slide down and go, yep, I'm at it. No matter what you do, the absolute minimum is that.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed.
No.
If the whole idea is that you drive out there, the last thing they should be doing is putting things down here, where you would put your phone. Where you would put your phone.
Yeah, that's exactly where we put our phones in old cars because it's what the ashtray was for. Oh, ashtray, phone goes in it. Before they became
your
too
tape
big
deck.
to fit.
Tape deck. Never done that. Put your phone in your tape deck.
My phone was too fat for my tape deck, and actually, my phone was too fat for my mini disc.
Ooh, now there's a 90s flex.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I've got a Sharp mini disc player upstairs still.
I've still got my Sony mini disc player. No, that's up in the attic. Yeah. And, of course, what was beneath the mini disc player? Yeah, not mini disc, mini disc player. Yeah.
Don't get us cancelled, Ed. It's the second time out.
Yeah, and we're done. 10-bar graphic equalizer.
Very cool. Very cool. Yep.
Which got upgraded to a Pioneer DSP, digital sound processor, and that you could change it to have all the different effects like hall, studio, subway, and all of that. Incredible.
Pop, rock, country.
Yeah, had all those as well. They're epic. Loved it.
You can't believe that stacker systems were entertaining because of all of the different ways you could listen to your music.
How many different formats?
I'm going to listen to it again,
yes.
but I'm going to listen to it in heavy bass this time. And now I'm going to pop. Yeah. Put it on rock, please. The neighbours want to hear it.
Yes. Yeah. Rock always had a good bass. Yeah, sorry, go on. So, digress.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll summarise the Explorer, right?
Okay.
The kids actually really liked it. So did Anna.
Okay.
I thought it was all right. It was comfy. It rode well. The big pro for it was how big it was, and that it seemed to actually be really good on distance,
range?
battery.
Is that the word you're looking
range.
for?
That's
range?
the word I was like. It's late. It's after the watershed now. Oh, so we won't get cancelled for the old, comment you made earlier. Or is it 10 o'clock when you can say?
No, that's when. That's when. But we still won't because obviously.
No.
Yeah, because we are going. The whole point is this. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. So that was the plus. Range was good, comfortable, drove all right. Didn't make any. For the first time I've properly driven one, I was pleasantly surprised that there wasn't bumps, creaks, rattles, and things like that. It was very tranquil.
Right. Okay.
If you wanted a tranquil experience, which you don't necessarily want, do you, as a petrol head? But it did do that. So if they could be pros, they would be pros. The con, the center iPad thing, you can press a button and you can slide it forwards and backwards, and there's like a pocket underneath it. So that's all right, little secret storage space. Just behind that button though is the shiniest piece of piano black plastic that I've ever seen in my entire life. And just as the sun comes in, it blinds you. No matter where you put your head, that blinds you to the point where it hurt my eyes. And I couldn't get away from it. Usually I'm thinking it's Anna with a phone just sat on her knee or something. And it's like it reflects into your eyes. And it's that, but there all the time. All the time I was driving it. And I don't know how they've managed to design that in. I don't know how they managed to make it do that. It didn't matter what I did. I ended up driving with my hand over the dash to stop it from being in my eyes all the time. Yeah. Really odd. And the sort of things you notice as well. But I had nothing else to notice. It was that quiet and doing nothing. I started critiquing the interior.
I didn't find that with these, so they are that bland that there's nothing really to like. They're just nothing. They'll do a job. They'll get you about. But there's no soul to them. There's no personality.
No. And that could be very easily solved if they just gave them some noise. Yeah. That would make a huge difference if they just had some noise. Which leads into the second electric car that I drove since we were there and since they had one on the forecourt, the Mach-E Mustang.
No,
Mach-E if you prefer.
Yes.
So that, and I've said it before, and stand by it. I like it. I do like it. I don't know what it is about it. I like it. I like the way it's built as well, so that we can still have the combustion engine version. But actually, jumping out of the Explorer and jumping into the Mach-E, the Explorer, I'm not 100% sure. So the internet's going to probably call me out on this. Is that? I think that's a Volkswagen platform.
Okay.
That and
it could well be because
I think they're on a Volkswagen platform. Whereas the Mach-E is a Ford.
They are sharing the Amarok and the Ranger are on the same platform now. And the new Transits are on the same platform as the Transporters. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
No. So that might be the case. I've read it, but I don't know where and how legitimate it is as a statement. The Mach-E drives like a car drives, not like an electric car drives. It does feel different to drive. It feels less like you sat on a... I know they are tall. They are quite a tall car, but they don't feel like I'm sat on a battery tall.
Right.
And that for me was impressive. It drove like just a weighty GT car, same as a combustion engine one would. And I actually enjoyed the way it drove. It was really good. Really good. Performance-wise, again, it was a roundabout, the Volvo. It's about 300 horsepower, loads of grip, lacking in gears. But if it were to be used for round town, I can see it. I can understand it. I certainly won't buy a brand new one because residuals, but I wouldn't necessarily turn away from a second-hand one at the right sort of money, especially as they have an 8-year guarantee on the batteries as well, you know.
If you're going to do that, though,
I've never tried claiming on a warranty, but
no, yeah,
it says there's a warranty for 8 years. So that's
not
a bad thing.
Have you ever tried going back to a phone company on your battery and seeing what happens then? It's not good, is it?
Never, not worth it.
Now, I still stand by electric vehicles, microlino. You know, I've driven that a few times now. That's the little, as you call. If you put your hand up,
I have, yeah.
Go on.
That's something to come back to. That's all right.
I'll
come back to it after.
No, come back to it now. I'm going to put your hand down. I can't put your hand down.
No, it's because I'm the boss.
Okay. Well, there we go. Microlino. That's all I was going to say. It's a fantastic little car. It's everything that electric cars should be in my eyes. And I know we've had this discussion before as well. It's not trying to be super powerful. Like, go on. What is it you say when someone says about like, oh, look how quick it goes or whatever? What's your default code?
That's
retort
not what
to
they're
that.
supposed to do. That's not what they're supposed to do. They're not marketed.
Yeah, well done.
Well, they are marketed for that. That's not what they're supposed to do.
It's just well done. You're just killing. What emissions you've saved. You're just killing them quicker, aren't you? It's it's nonsense.
You're going to have to burn more coal to recharge your battery.
Exactly. Yeah. I was actually chatting to somebody the other day with an electric car, and I said my big wait is, and I've been waiting for it, and he didn't say. I was just chatting, having a laugh with him because he's a mate. But to someone, I said I can't wait for someone to get high and mighty about my car, right? Any of my cars, because I will then say to them, what does your central heating run on? So let me do it with you. What does your central heating run on, Wayne?
At my house, gas and electric is my house. That's what it operates on.
Gas. Your central heating runs on gas. Really? Do you realise how fossil fuels, gas? Oh my goodness! I've got an electric boiler, don't you know?
I bet you're glad I didn't say I've got an air source heat pump and solar panels.
I know you haven't, which is why I went in there.
Very true. Very true.
But yeah, it's my little offset of smugness is the fact that as is electric. But I absolutely don't kid myself. The fact that actually the electricity company tells me that 98% of my electric comes from renewables, but it's just what they tell me.
Well, you've also paid for them to develop that renewable technology as well, haven't you? And you're still paying for it. So that's nice. This renewable electricity that should be running and smooth and not really need any money spending on it now, you still seem to be paying for it.
Yeah. Much like the QE2 bridge. I'm going to get a Tesla badge for my boiler.
Nice. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, so go back to what you wanted to pick up on, because I feel bad. I jumped in.
Oh, so you didn't jump in. You forgot something.
What did I forget?
Pictures.
Would you like a picture?
I'm not really bothered. I know what they look like. Only
there we go.
That you were going to get pictures up when we talked about these cars.
I did. I mean, I've got pictures here. I can switch to them if you wish. And show of the Explorer. Yeah, if you want. Do we want to? Do we really want to look at an electric car?
I have a feel I don't know. I thought that wasn't what you were going to do with your saying Explorer. I thought you were going to do something else. But yeah, no, why not? We might as well look at it.
I'm intrigued with what you were. What
I thought you were going to bring up one of your old ones or something instead, or a Lego brick or something, or just fire.
No, I've genuinely got the Explorers queued up. There you go.
Okay. That 2025 one's nice, isn't it? That isn't the electric one. The one on the left without a grill is the electric one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't look very good next to the
petrol one.
Combustion engine one. Although, again, I think it's one of those. It doesn't do itself much of a favour in photos. It does look better in real life. But I don't know why they don't just make the grille black.
Yeah. It's got a cheeky
it would look
sort
a
of
lot more
menacing, smiley, menacing face to it, though, hasn't it? Look, nose. Yeah. That one, what I would
it's got
say,
a sort of smiley, menacing face to it. Little nose.
It is. It's a bit like, I'm saving your planet. Yeah. I'm not really. How good would that one look if that was just slightly, because the lights are right, if that was slightly changed to the Ranger front or the Mustang Ranger front? You know, when they make the Ranger look like the Mustang-ish. How good would that look?
Yeah, well, that's not an ugly car. That I quite like that.
Speaking of Rangers, can I segue into something that I wanted to talk about from there? Or do you want to carry on talking about electric cars? Because I'm happy to. Well, I'm not, but I will.
No, I'm done. I'm just wondering if it's Power Rangers that we're about to talk about instead.
It's not. No. So just quickly, it's modifying vehicles, modern vehicles, right? And that sort of came off the back of that, the Ranger, my pickup. How it's changed, how modifying vehicles has changed. Again, way back, we're now segueing back again. You say, oh, this is just working too well to the phones. So it's like back in the day, you know, you'd throw cams in, you'd air filter it. Well, you still air filter it, I suppose, but the go-tos, like the ones that you do. You know what I mean? Your first mod, you do filter, you do exhaust, you do, you know, maybe throw in some cams, neons, yeah.
Laguna front splitter.
100% front splitter made out of my mate had one made out of an old computer desk.
Nice. Renault Laguna. Yeah. Renault Laguna front
Renault
splitter
Laguna
with 3 holes
fits on
either side.
Everything. Fits on everything. How good did that look on a Nova?
Or a Metro, like I had.
Or anything. It was the one-stop shop. I miss the days of getting bits off other cars and putting them on.
Yeah.
You know. So my
you did that a lot, didn't you?
I did it a lot. I still do it a lot. My my Supra that was at max power. That was the side skirts off of that were TWR side skirts off of a Mazda 626 that I got out of a scrapyard for £5.
Nice.
And they fitted mostly, and I finished making them fit with some, you know, some foam and some filler and stuff like that, and went, that's good.
As you do.
Now, you hear people saying the modifying scene's dead, it's not like it used to and all that lot, and I think to the most point it's just evolved again. Because this week, obviously there's flashing, ECU flash, which is just the go-to now. It's the quick and easy, and back in the day, of course, we had super chips as well.
Are you about to make an advert for yourself here, and is that where this is going?
No, I've got enough work on. I do not need any more. You know that.
In case anybody watching wants a remap.
No, my truck, I love my Navara, right? But it's always felt a bit lazy on the throttle and a bit underpowered, especially coming from the Renault Traffic, which was just a hoon monster. It's always felt a bit lazy. This week, I took a tip off of someone and fitted a throttle commander, right, which basically intercepts the signal from the throttle, and then you've got selectable maps. It just changes the mapping The response from it changes the map in out. Simple, dead simple. But what a difference! What an absolute difference! And it just got me thinking, about how modifying's still out there. It's just changed. It's just moved with the times. Stuff like that.
You can yield a lot more from them, can't you? You're talking about the old days. A lot of stuff didn't have turbos back in the day, did it? So performance, like you say, you had to really get in and get dirty if you wanted any big gains and any real return. Now, diesels are phenomenal with a remap. It's like a different engine. Pretty much any diesel. That micro diesel that I had was brilliant.
Your
Fabia VRS was an absolute rally car.
It's insane.
Diesels with a remap are brilliant. They are amazing.
Yeah.
But even with petrol engine cars now, even non-turbo ones, the fact that you can do it electronically, there's a lot more range in what you can get out of them, isn't there? Yeah. Before you even look at the turbo ones.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the tinkering between generations as well. That's always been something I quite like. Like Nissan with the 350s went from the single throttle. They did it with the 300s. You could do a twin throttle as well, but on the 350s they went to a dual throttle body on the later ones, and then that made its way into the 370. And they've done the same with the Mustangs now. The S650's got a dual throttle rather than a single throttle. So I envisage in the next couple of years that'll be sort of the typical mod that you do, just to get more air into your engine on an S550, is to retrofit that intake system, those throttle bodies onto the 550, and you've all of a sudden got the new version. It's the same engine.
Yeah.
But those sorts of OEM plus type mods that look nice and fit nice and less bodging, I suppose that's what it is, isn't it? Less bodging goes on now.
Maybe that's it.
For the most part.
I think maybe that's it. But I mean, on the same score, there are still, and I'm not saying that's everything, because there are still people out there, that are doing these crazy engine swaps and, doing the sort of the deep work. I'm more just talking about your lighter stuff, your surface stuff.
Wheels and spacers and suspension.
Yeah, that's it. What order?
Do you know the one that I used to hate? The one that I really used to hate? Big bore exhaust with steely wheels.
Pico Big Bore 4.
Well, Cherry Bomb was a bit of a northern thing. Cherry Bomb.
Oh yeah, it was.
The Big Bore 4 flipping out. I had a Cherry Bomb. Yeah, everyone's had a Cherry Bomb.
Actually, mine just quickly, mine wasn't a Cherry Bomb, right? Mine was actually off of an old Corvette, right? My exhaust broke in half. I didn't weld back then, yeah. So I went to this local, car shop. Like it, I don't have to. You know what I mean? It has
the ones you could buy on the corner,
shelves on the corner, shelves stacked full of anything and everything, that had been there 30 years. And I went
in the middle of all the normal shops. Nowhere near a garage.
That's it. Nowhere near anything. I've got a Holland, I've got a Holland resource, need that. And he just went, I'll weld it up for you, mate. I've got I'll just cut a back box in there if you want. I was like, yeah, ace. And I came back and he'd welded in a Corvette sort of Cherry Bomb style centre box that he'd had lying around. And it sounded ace. I used to have people saying like, oh, is that the 2 litre? No, 1.4. It sounded so good, but it wasn't over the top. It was just deep and throaty, and it's like sometimes these things just work. They just work.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had somebody weld a exhaust onto my 30 BMW. I got halfway home.
I assume you mean underneath and
roll
underneath, not just literally welded it on because you'd annoyed them.
No, it wasn't that bad. No, but I didn't even make it home. Yeah, I went round a roundabout and just watched it in the mirror roll off into the distance. Didn't go back there again. It's held up with welding wire as well, actually.
What angle was the car at when you were going round the roundabout? What was your slip angle?
Oh no, I was just steady away. I was just steady away. It was only a little 1.6. It didn't have any guts. And then it didn't have any exhaust either, so that was good. Sounded all right afterwards, I suppose. But
brilliant. Oh man, amazing. We've just rambled on for another 45 minutes. We haven't really touched too much on the thing, but I don't care. It's fun. It's nice just taking the time out to chat and sort of take a break away from the world and everything.
It's the oddity of not working on site as well, is that you don't get to just have the general chats about stuff. And when you are on site, you haven't got the time to have the general chats about stuff because you've gone there for a reason and you've got something to do. So your days very quickly get filled up and you don't really get the chance to just chat about stuff.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
That's been two weeks coming, that story about the test drives. That was nearly 2 weeks ago.
Blimey.
At least I think it was. Or this week's felt like 2 weeks. I can't really decide which one it is.
Do you like my AT-AT hat?
Are you trying to balance the AT on your head? Yes.
I am.
I like the fact you've got an AT mullet. It's nice.
Hey. You know what they say, party at the back,
AT
Imperial
at the
Force at the front.
I'm just going to get a picture of your AT.
There you
go. Excellent. That was definitely an AT mullet face as well. Excellent.
Fantastic.
I think that can be your new profile picture on the internet.
I love it. Is it an AT-AT or an AT-AT?
I'll let you decide. I think you're more precious over that than me. There's not got enough wheels for me.
I really don't mind, but I know some people really get wound up, which is so. So gaming. I mean, the obviously things are still moving behind the background. We're starting to get it together. I think should we save Daytona? Should we save Daytona for another day because we've sort of we're already in 3/4 of an hour here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
do you want to wrap up?
Well, we could just wrap up as I start to try and keep this car on the track. It's sat here. I just don't know whether I'll be able to share. Let me see if I can share that screen. Yes, I can. Right. So it's sat there and I've been on it. So I might as well have a little bit of a try. Now you can't see the Beetle. But what we will do,
there's the Beetle.
What we are going to do, obviously, is... Can you see my screen now?
I see your screen. I see Herbie. I am now inside Herbie. That sounds wrong.
Herbie's ace. It's after 9. I've got my sound and everything set up quite nice. I've had a little tinker around with my... I say I've got my sound nice. I've got my sound in my ears, and that is mega loud. But what I think we will do, obviously, as we go through and progress before we get to doing this for the actual season and the series, isn't it? Is start to look at sharing from your screen rather than my screen, so that obviously they can see the multi-cams then, isn't it? You're going to be able to set up and view different people, same as we did last time, but there we go. I can hear you and me now.
Again, that's part of the plan as well, is to practice run and make sure that it tries to get a little bit more slick than last year. What I would say is, I don't know how the recording's recording, but this literally looks like you're playing it on an Amiga with a frame rate of about 6.
Well, I'm not. I'm on our super high quality work computers that we use for all of our software and simulations. Look at that ghost. I've got something to chase now.
I can't see the... Oh, yeah,
I think this was after our last... this was after what we had a look at last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I was quicker. I was quicker.
All I'm seeing is you're on the tarmac, you're in a wall. Then you're back on the tarmac. You're on some grass.
I lost my bumper.
I can see the wall. Whether it's your internet or my internet, it's horrendous. It really
says I've got
is.
big problems with that engine. I've probably lost a lot of power. He's right, and it doesn't steer anymore either. So I think I might have to reset my car. Do you know what my problem is? Oh, that's my problem.
Oh,
well, that. Yeah, I broke that. My problem is my couch doesn't have a chassis movement in it. So I'm sat here in the static, and it really is difficult to. It's difficult to feel what's going on. So I can't feel that arm core at all.
Really? I'm so surprised.
No, I had my steering wheel.
Well, it seems how this currently, as I say, it looks like. What was the game? Was that Daytona? No, what was it called?
Daytona was a bit boxy, wasn't it?
No, there was one before that, and it was just a big green with a grey strip, and it had the loops in it.
Green strip. Do you mean the motorbike one?
No, it was cars, and you did. There were loops. There were loops. No, the green was the grass. It was just a big patch. It was just green. Everything was green on the ground, and it was grey. The road was just block grey, but it was like one of the first 3D racing game.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm going to search it.
I was Chase HQ, you see. Chase HQ was my era. Do you remember that one? That was a good one.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Good old Chase HQ. But that was...
I can't find what it is. Well, I'm not going to...
Chase HQ on the Atari? It might have been on the Atari. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the Atari. Yeah.
Ah!
I can't...
Was it Hard Driving?
Oh, yes. Maybe, yeah.
Hard Driving. That was it. My goodness. Hard Driving.
Yep. There were some brilliant games back then for how simple they were. And I suppose they wouldn't look that great now. But they really were good, weren't they?
Oh,
they really were good. That'd be a good one for your comment section. What was your favourite retro computer game?
Oh, I like it.
Supercars was a good one for anybody who had an Atari or an Amiga. Supercars, which was like top down.
It's also a good test if anyone's actually been bothered to watch.
To this point.
Watch our ramblings.
Now I'm driving. They'd want to see me crash at least, wouldn't they?
No, because it really is awful. I can't tell you how bad it is to watch. Like, it's horrendous. It's just...
Aside from my driving, you mean?
Hang on. 1,
I always get that one wrong.
3, 4. Yeah, it's probably 2 frames per second we're currently running at.
Really? Do you know what?
Yeah,
I don't know whether it actually tells you. At my end, it tells me I'm doing 84 frames per second.
I bet you probably are. But watching it, you're doing 2. I counted them.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I've got all my settings turned down so that it doesn't do things like that. I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to let my tyres warm up before I try and do a fast lap.
We've lost you again. Like we've lost you into gaming again. You've got in, and that's it now.
When you say lost me to gaming, you've not lost me to gaming because I'm good. You've lost me to gaming because I'm trying to stay on the track and concentrate all in one. Exactly. It'd be nicer when there's all the students are there whizzing round, going fast, and I'll just get out of their way, and then that'll be fine. I'll just mill about at the back, steady away, getting half average. If I can.
Is that what you call it when you go off the track onto the grass and into the Armco? You're just getting out of their way.
Yeah, steady away.
It's a good tactic. I like it. It. Now, obviously, the whole point of this was actually on the sort of on the run up. run up to the iRacing and all of that lot. But it seems to have evolved slightly into just us talking about cars and stuff. But I'm all right with that.
But that can be all year round, Ed. That isn't seasonal. That's continuous.
Exactly. And I am always happy to talk nonsense about cars, and I really don't care sort of if anyone's sort of still watching or not, because we've had a good laugh.
They might have been listening at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe. Right, let's get rid of this 2 frames a second, say our goodbyes, and wrap it up.
84 frames at my side still. Something wrong with this car. It doesn't stay on the road.
I can't wait for you to watch this back and see how bad this looks. You watch, the recording will be spot on. I'll have stopped it. I'll have been sat here whinging.
I wonder what you're on about.
Anyone watching is going to be going, I don't know what he's on about. Aero. I love the aero. The side ducts drawing air into that. Ducts, not ducks. Drawing air in. I love that. Ducts. Must have. Rear-mounted, do you reckon a rear-mounted engine or a rear-mounted radiator? I don't know on them.
Do you know, I've no idea, because it's not actually a Beetle, is it? It's a body on top of a frame on top of an engine, I think.
Yeah.
I would say probably mid-engine. We should know this, really. We should research this. That could be interesting tech talk.
Can you imagine how slick it would be? Right. Next time we'll research it, right? We'll come back and we'll talk proper technical stuff.
Yeah, we'll research the Volkswagen and then we'll drive the other one. Let me tell you all about the car from last time, but we're not in that one this time.
Yeah, and then we can tell everything about the next one the next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you know what I'm going? My good old round and round and round we go.
Excellent. Right. Well, I'm going to have a go in. I'm going to have a go in going and getting the shower, and then I'm getting ready because I'm off to Snetterton this weekend for GT Cup with the great guys at Innovation. Ironically, in the exact same 2 garages I was in last week with Team Brit. So, nice. Yeah, let's just hope it's a better week this week. Last week was not so much.
No.
But tough times.
That
highs and lows of motorsport.
That's motorsport, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe next time we could do one and chat about motorsport.
Maybe.
That'd be mad.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, we talk about that all the time, don't we? So
we do, but you know what we'll have to talk about next time as well. What are we doing 2 weeks today?
Oh, don't know. Are we allowed to even say yet?
Yes, Mosler test day. We will be testing the Mosler. We've got some students coming along, and we're going to be testing the Mosler. See how that goes.
What have you been doing today, Ed?
Today I have been taking off the rear brake master cylinder pressure sensor because it was leaking. So leaking brake fluid's never good. So taken that off, cleaned it all up, put on proper special thread locker that's safe to use in braking systems, and put that back on. So fingers crossed the next time I go in, it will be done. And also saw the truck off. Truck went off for its MOT today, so I'm hoping that will be back in time as well.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it would be. So and then just generally getting all stuff done. Treadmarks, the guys around at Treadmarks in Nottingham very kindly threw a tyre on for me because all my tyre fitting stuff's here. So it was a productive day. So
good.
Yeah, lovely. Right, okay. Well, have a great week, or 2 weeks, or whatever it is, or till whenever I see you and speak to you next.
Yes. It'll be tomorrow on the phone, probably, or on a meeting. So
probably will be. Yeah. Actually, we are actually meeting tomorrow for that super
in the morning
thing in 3 weeks.
Yes, we are. All will be revealed.
We can talk about in a few weeks.
We can in 2 weeks. That'd be a good time to talk about it.
It will be. Brilliant. Right. Have a good one. It's been a pleasure as always.
Like and subscribe.
All 5 people.
Yeah, all 5 of them.
All 5. All 5. All right, mate. You take care. Till next time. And everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.